Welcome to the Socialette podcast, where we empower you with the marketing know-how you need to create the business of your dreams. I'm your host, Steph Taylor, and I'm a marketing nerd, Shiraz lover, and passport stamp collector. Join me as I dive into all things small business marketing and deliver them to you in bite-sized, fluff-free lessons every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's get learning. Hey, welcome back to Socialette. This is episode 114. This episode is brought to you by my free 3-day Simpler Marketing Challenge. If you're feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and simply all over the place when it comes to marketing your business, it's time that we fix that. Over the 3 days in the challenge, we'll clarify, simplify, streamline, and speed up your marketing so that you're getting the best results possible for your limited time, money, and energy. I'll also share some of my biggest hacks when it comes to marketing your business and saving time in the process so that you don't have to spend hours every day trying to do all of the things. Head to stephtaylor.co/challenge to register for the free 3-day challenge. Alrighty, onto the episode. So many of us have had a less than stellar experience buying from or working with an online business. I've had some pretty disappointing ones where they've left me feeling deflated. I've had ones where I've received products that looked absolutely nothing like the photo. And the point is, we're all getting way more wary about where we choose to spend our money online because it's just far too easy for a fly-by-night operator to set up shop, rip us off, and then disappear into oblivion. So if people aren't buying from you or they're a little bit reluctant to work with you, it might be that they simply just don't trust you enough yet. Trust is everything when it comes to marketing your business. This episode, I'm looking at 7 ways you can build more trust with your audience. Let's jump in. Number 1, be consistent. I've lost track of how many times I've said this on the podcast, but consistency breeds trust. And I have to consistently tell you guys this. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. I can't rave about how much this podcast has changed my business for the better. And I believe that a big part of this is due to the consistency because my listeners can count on me to consistently release an episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so far, I haven't missed a single one. This applies to anything that you do in business. If you're consistent in how you speak on social media, how often you send your emails, how your brand looks and feels, these things will all help to build trust with your audience. Number 2, open a 2-way conversation with your audience. This is something I've been talking about a lot on this podcast lately because your audience are real people and the tools and the platforms that we have available to us these days allow us to have 2-way conversations, but so few people do. Just because your business is online doesn't mean you can skip the conversation part altogether. Think about how business would happen in the good old days. Someone would have to pop into your shop or your office and chat to you first. So a good way to start having a 2-way conversation with your audience is to ask them questions. Show them that you actually genuinely care about their opinion. Number 3, exceed expectations. Yes, you should exceed expectations in the actual product or service that you deliver, but you should also strive to exceed expectations in everything that your business does online. Everything from your email newsletter content to how your website looks, it should all exceed expectations. It should make people feel really good. If you can exceed expectations for people who haven't paid you any money yet, they're going to be so excited to find out what they'll get when they actually do pay you money for your product or your service. Number 4, build a tribe of brand advocates and showcase your social proof. I'm always a bit hesitant to buy from a business that doesn't have any reviews and doesn't have anyone on social media talking about them. Or if the only people on social media talking about them are influencers who have obviously been paid to promote it. Your brand advocates are real customers. They're people who will market your business for you. These are the people who are so happy with your product or your service that they'll tell everyone they know about it. This really relates to the last point about the exceeding expectations. It's a great way to build brand advocates is to exceed expectations in every step of your product or your service delivery. Social proof is the other important thing. So if you have any rave reviews from customers, make sure you display them on your website. Share them on social media. Try to really leverage them as much as possible because these will be the difference for many people between buying and not buying from you. Number 5, have excellent customer service. Your customer service should exceed expectations at every step of the purchase or the service delivery process. I recently bought something online and I received no information about the order after I'd purchased it. I actually thought that it hadn't gone through, but then when I checked my credit card statement, it was sitting there. So I emailed their customer service and I asked them if the order had shipped, and I didn't get a reply. So I emailed again and I still didn't get a reply, and I emailed again and I still didn't get a reply. So I finally resorted to messaging their Facebook page and I got a reply that it had shipped about a week ago. This is a pretty disappointing experience because as a customer, you shouldn't have to try and follow up so many times to get a reply. It's so important to keep your customers in the loop. Tracking information is so important, but so are other things like order confirmation emails. Number 6, display your contact details on your website. This is a pretty small one, but it can make a really big difference, especially for e-commerce businesses. If you can, display your phone number and your address on your website. People love to know that they can call you to find out where their order is, rather than having to email you and possibly not get a reply. Now, I know this isn't going to be appropriate for everyone. I personally had to remove our phone number from the website as I was getting a lot of time-wasting inquiries and people who just wanted to chat and pick my brain, which was really disruptive to my workday. But if you have a dedicated customer support person or customer support team, then it might be a good option for you. Number 7, show the person behind the brand. For me, this is probably the biggest thing that I look for. I love to know who I'm buying from and what their story is. I'm a sucker for a good story. I also like to know that I'm not buying from some faceless company that's going to rip me off. Knowing that I'm buying from a real person instantly builds a whole lot more trust. That's it for this episode. Don't forget to join the 3-day Simpler Marketing Challenge at stephtaylor.co/challenge. If you haven't already subscribed to this podcast, make sure you hit the big subscribe button so that you get every new episode delivered straight to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you've got 10 seconds to spare, I'd love it if you could please leave a quick rating and a review. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Catch you next time.